Alright guys, we're back for episode 2 of Spacechem, and this time, you guys don't get as much. This time you guys are only going to get 15 minutes of Spacechem with me, so let's get started right away. Alright, we did 4 levels last time, so now we're up to a brief history of Spacechem. We get more story, look at that! Alright. The training facility on Cernamere II was a campus of rectangular metal buildings connected by corrugated tunnels with a landing zone located west of the reactor field. There was only a trace atmosphere on the surface, leaving the horizon empty except for the central star and the sister planet Cernamere IV. I sat in a folding chair behind a table in a brightly lit room with 15 other trainees. A middle-aged woman stood at the front of the room smiling. She wore a gray jumpsuit with a name tag that read Angela. "Welcome to your first day of training," she said. "We're going to get started with some of the basics about Spacechem, its founding and mission. We'll get through some of the drier material later in the session." As she clapped her hands, the lights dimmed and a Spacechem logo appeared on the wall. So I'm assuming that's the Spacechem logo. Spacechem was founded in 2745 by George Vossler. An image of a portly, mustachioed man appeared for a moment before Angela flicked to the next screen, which contained the likeness of a salmon. Salmon, apparently. Originally, Spacechem was a subsidiary of Vossler Industries, specializing in the manufacture of fish-based food products. Later on, Vossler Industries folded and Spacechem expanded into chemical engineering. The fish disappeared and was replaced by a star field. Ever since, Spacechem has revolutionized the industry with its reactor technology. We currently employ over 200,000 individuals in various capacities on over 3,000 planets and stations. Spacechem is the largest chemical engineering and manufacturing company in the universe. Another Spacechem logo materialized. Spacechem's goal is to provide high-quality chemical necessities to human colonies on a universal scale and in an economical and effortless manner. Angela clapped to turn on the lights. Any questions so far? No. So, bond progression. If you bond it once, it gets 1 bond. If you bond it a second time, it gets 2 bonds. If you bond it the next time, you get 3. And 3 is the maximum. And I think in real life you can say more than 3, so this game isn't portraying it properly. Maybe I might just be shooting stuff out of my butt. And okay, this number tells us how many bonds an element can have with another element. So hydrogen can only have 1 bond, it can't have 2 or 3. Oxygen can only have 2, it can't have 3. And nitrogen can have a maximum of 5, yeah, see? So the game doesn't simulate the 5. I think it might have a new way of representing it. Maybe, who knows. So, let us continue. Alright, we're all on our own here. We need to mix hydrogen and chlorine to get this. So, let's start with this. We're going to bring it in. We're going to... Is there a way to just like... No. So we're going to pick it up here. And we want to drop it here. So we're going to drop it, and because we want to just move the bonders here, that'll make it easier. Yeah, we just want to drop it because the out's over here, so it'll be easier to do the out with the blue. So we're gonna put a bond here. Oh, do we want to? Yes, we do. Because what we can do is we can actually make it... No? No, this... I'm so sorry, everyone. Okay, we're just gonna realign everything here. Okay. So we're actually going to drop it here. And it's actually going to do one of these. And I like putting a sink at the very end, because when your tracks don't have the same length, that makes everything easier. So bring one in. We're going to grab it here. Then we are going to bond right here with that one. And then I'll make it have a 2 sides. So then we can drop it here, push it out, and have another sink right there to start the process all over. And I think this should work. So let's test it. Hydrogen and chlorine get bonded, they get dropped, and they get outputted. So we're going to speed that up. This is my creation. No tutorial helped me do it. I did it. I just want to let it run. Yeah, there we go. We did it. Next up, removing bonds. Okay. Oh, nope. No bit of information here. Oh, they already taught us how to move it. That's fine. So we have double fluorine, and we want to output singular fluorine. Okay, not too hard. We'll input it, and we will grab it here, and we're going to run it down here. We're going to make a negative bond. We're going to run it up here, and the red job is going to be to drop it here, and then to wait. And then after it's done waiting, it'll output it, and it'll wait again. Now we're going to come over to blue here. Blue's job is to run up here, is to grab it, to do this, we're going to sync it up like this. And it's going to grab it. No. Put a sink here, and then we'll put a red sink here. I love sinks. Sinks make everything easier. Drop that. Actually, we're going to delete that drop. We're just going to drop it out. Just like that. Because have a sink at the end, have a sink at the end. Sinks there, sinks there. Because we want to drop it, and then we want to just tell it to get out. Like that. Let's test this. So we get it, unbond it, drop out, drop out. Yeah, it works. We did it. Again, let's speed that up a little bit. Alright. We're getting through these pretty quick. Now we're in Simnear 4. Because we just finished Simnear 2, now we're moving up to Simnear 4. I think we have more story? No new story yet. We have single oxygen, we want to get double oxygen. Okay. Now we could just do this with one of these guys, but that sounds really boring. So we're going to try to make this really synced up. So we bring a red one in, and then we want to grab it. And we want to move it down, bring it this way, and we want to drop it here. And we want to move back up, go here, and get ready to sync. Now blue's doing the heavy lifting here, because blue is going to make a similar path, but except it needs to be a little bit wider. Well, over here, no it doesn't. It doesn't need to be wider at all. And we're going to have a sink here, to sync it up. We're going to have an out here, and we're going to have a drop here, and we need a in right here, and we need a grab right here. We need a, oh, it's a double bond. Crap. Oh, easily remedied. Bond. Bond. Now, this should work perfectly. Let's test it. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. Easily fixed with sinks. been grabbed, so we sink. And we want to put the N here and put a blue sink here. Easily fixed. Boop, boop. See? Boop, boop. And we did it. Alright, let's speed it up. This is not too terribly hard at all. So we still have a good 4.5 minutes. So we probably have enough time for the next level. Best left unanswered. The story. Let's read it. A hand in the rear of the room flew up. There have been a lot of concerns about safety lately. Do you know anything about the... There was an unfortunate accident, she said. Someone coughed, and she narrowed her eyes. We have a stellar safety compliance record. We have the best people and resources. Unfortunately, sometimes incidents occur. These are rare events. There were only a few other companies the size of Spacechem, including their corporate rivals, SFCM. Society I just butchered that. And Organ X, a smaller firm specializing in organic compounds, and renowned for their general incompetence. Spacechem was enjoying a golden age of incredible growth and success, despite the news reports. Angela pulled a stack of papers from a folder. Anything else before we move on? What really happened during the accident? Another person asked, again from the map. She shuffled the papers in her hands and tapped them against the table in front of her. How does half of a station's crew get flushed out of an airlock? Even if it was a malfunction, why were they all in there in the first place? The paper slid from her fingers, and she stared through me with dull, lifeless eyes. I cleared my throat, and she glanced away, her lips strained into a smile. I need a moment, just going to... I'll be right back. She disappeared behind the door. She did not return. Alright, new training. No, we've learned that. Let's just continue to level. So we got 3 minutes to do this. We need a triple bonded nitrogen. So, similar to what we did before, we can do much the same. We just put the 4 bonds in a row here. We need to make a thing here. Switch over to blue to make its circle. Blue circle here. These first levels aren't too terribly difficult, but it takes some time getting used to. So we put a sink, Again, blue is doing all of the heavy lifting. Blue needs to make sure to sink there, and red's going to sink there. We need a grab here, and we need a grab here. Of course, we're going to need a blue alpha in and a red in. So far they come in, they grab, sink. We want red to drop his here and continue on to his red sink. We want blue to bond, 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 drop, and push it out. So blue again is doing all the heavy lifting. It should work perfectly. Let's test it. Yep, it works. Look at that. I'm a genius. I haven't played this game in like a month, so I didn't memorize this. That's just me doing it off the top of my head. Easy. Easy. And we had some pretty low lap cycles. Could have been lower apparently. We only used one reactor because we can't use more. And we used a decent amount of symbols right in the middle, what normally everyone uses, which is good. So, this is going to be the end of the video. Sorry, I can't do one more. We could click on it, we could look at it, let's see. Yeah, this is going to have to wait till next video. As always, thanks for watching, guys. It's really great to know that someone watches these. I don't know if anyone's watching. If you're watching, leave a comment, please. Maybe a like. That'd be cool. I like likes and I like comments. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you here next time, hopefully. Hopefully I made a good enough impression on you to make you want to watch my video again. Yeah, bye.